This is the interview portion. It's called D20 Questions. You guys on your table over there have an actual D20. Either one of you can grab it. And I know Tess seemed averse to it. She wasn't going to go for it. You're going to have to answer the question whether you are the person who rolled or not. But the way it works is you roll that. I have 20 questions that are numbered in front of me. Whatever number you roll, that's the question that I'm going to ask you guys. So go right ahead and roll it. What'd you
15.
get? 15 is, if you had to delete all but 2 apps from your phone, what would the 2 left over be? And Danny, I'll let you go first because Tess, I can already see is like that's a deep question she's going to have to think about.
This might change if I think about it more.
Okay. Yeah, but your initial thought would be.
I honestly think it's Discord and YouTube.
Okay, and why?
I do a lot of communication for work and for like friends and family over Discord.
All right.
So I feel like that's getting a bit of both worlds on that front. I can also use it as a notes app, a few other things. I'm getting paid. I'm hoping to get paid by Discord.
Right.
Is really what I'm finding out.
Right. It's all about money with you. And YouTube you want so that you can see
app.
if this episode actually gets enough views to get us monetized, and then you get a cut of it.
It all comes back.
Comes back to
I watch YouTube a lot.
Sure.
So
I've had this conversation with a lot of people recently. I don't really watch, I for sure don't watch regular like cable TV or broadcast TV. I barely watch the streaming services, like any of them. What I watch most now is YouTube. And I feel like a lot of people are gravitating towards that recently, interestingly enough.
it's a lot of content.
Yeah. You can never run out.
You know, and it's like such a good consolidation of a bunch of other apps. Like I use YouTube Premium, if only because I like it gets like I use YouTube enough that not having ads is nice. And then also you have YouTube Music, which is
Sure.
a substitute to like Spotify or something. Yeah.
The algorithm's going to love this conversation. That's
YouTube's so good.
It's the
Oh my gosh. If I could have only one app in the world, I'd have 5 YouTubes.
Tess, what are you thinking?
I think the 2 apps that would remain for me, my Maps app, because for practicality, but also
Man, I didn't even think about that. That's a
But
great.
also
Great. Danny's not going to be able to get anywhere.
I
I have to go back to Illinois after this.
and sometimes I just like to like look around, you know,
Sure. Yeah.
pull up the earth and just
Have you
Check it
ever
out.
experienced the VR app Wander, which is basically Google Maps but VR?
No, I have
it's
not.
that. So you can pop yourself virtual reality style into any environment.
That
it's
rocks.
fun. Yeah, it's cool. All right, and what's the other
my
one?
second app would be my Photos app because one of my favorite pastimes when I'm bored is just like scrolling back in my camera roll
right.
and looking at my own pictures
Yeah.
of like college and my friends and
Sure.
places I've traveled, and it's a good time.
That's a good one.
Underrated hobby of mine.
I forgot that the camera function on your phone is an app. I just think of it as part of the phone. But it's an app. You can delete it. So
It's a deeply reasonable answer. I think
hers is more practical. Like at
So
first
practical.
I thought yours was crazy practical because you were talking about work at first. And then Tess gave her answers and I was like, wow. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get anywhere without maps. And I absolutely need the camera function.
I can check my email on my browser. I can check the weather online. I was thinking weather app. I was like, that's the first thing I do. Like when I have my phone in the morning, one of the first things I look at is the weather app to see like, what is the temperature outside? What am I wearing? But those are all things I can like look up on my computer browser.
Sure.
And so I was trying to
I
think
gave you way too long to think.
You
and
did.
You used it. You put a lot of thought behind that.
made the most out of that time.
Yeah.
I really did.
Let's do another question. So you guys go ahead and roll again. Danny's going to roll it this time. Go for it. Do you have a technique? Is that what you're doing? You're just showing the camera.
Suspense. This is going to really affect how
People who are just
pod ends
listening the audio side are going to be like, what
What's
is
happening?
he doing? Yeah, what's going on?
11.
11. 11 is
Kind of like an at 20,
Oh man,
but it's an 11 instead.
I don't want to do 11.
Why not?
11 is, what pets do you have or have you had? I don't want to do 11.
We can roll again if you.
It's fine. We'll do it. We'll do it and see what happens. Tess, I'll let you start.
Okay.
So yeah, pets.
I have a dog.
Currently?
Great. She's alive.
Love it.
She lives in Salt Lake City, Utah with my mom.
All right.
She's a Greater Swiss Mountain Dog named Mavis. She's turning 8 this May.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday coming up.
Happy birthday, Mavis. She's 115 pounds and acts like a person. She's extremely sassy.
Wait, did you say what kind of dog?
She's a Greater Swiss Mountain Dog.
You did. Okay, you did say that.
So she likes to pull things because that's what she was like
Bred to do.
Yeah. And so recently my mom sent me a video of her walking down the sidewalk hitched to a wagon that was carrying her own dog food, like 15 pounds worth of dog food in a little foldable wagon. Because my mom was like, this is how I'm getting her food home from now on because I shouldn't be the one carrying it. It's not even mine.
Do they walk to the store?
They do. My mom lives in
that.
A walkable city. It's awesome.
I love
It's
a walkable
always 60
city.
degrees there, and she has a view of the mountains every time she sends me a
Man, that
picture.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
everything about that sounds great. Danny, don't do it. If it's your only answer, go ahead.
So my family has a corgi named Molly.
Currently.
Oh
man, all right, good.
She's not the first.
Okay, great. Yeah. So tell me more about Molly.
Molly's a gem.
Yeah.
You know, she's, I think, like a year and a half old now. We got her. She was like 6 months.
Yeah.
And she's like super energetic. And I remember, and I feel like in order to express properly my feelings about this dog, I do have to bring up. So our last dog was a black lab named Luna, and we had her for, I don't know, I think maybe around a little under a decade.
Sure.
And she passed away about like 2 years ago. And I remember my dad was being like, "We're never getting another dog. It's over. You know, that's
always
it."
what they say.
And then. And I was like, okay, maybe I guess that makes sense. You know, my parents are getting up there in age. And then like 6 months later, my dad calls me. My dad calls me. I'm at my desk and he calls me and he goes, "Hey, mentions a friend
Danny?
of mine."
Oh, I thought you were trying to struggle to come up with your own name.
No, this is what, friend of mine. I'm not going to use her real name. I'm going to say Carmen.
Good.
You know,
learning, yeah.
I answer the phone. I go, "Hey," and he goes, "Hey, is Carmen still working at the vet clinic?" Doesn't say hi. And I go, "Yeah, why?" And he goes, "Do you think she can get us an appointment tonight?" And I go, "Maybe. Why?" And he goes, "Well, I'm driving from Ohio, and I just got a dog." And that's how I found out that he was getting a new dog,
because it needed to go to the vet desperately in an emergency situation.
Needed to go to he called me, and before he could tell me that he had gotten a dog, he had to ask if we could get the appointment.
Sure.
But she's lovely.
I believe it. Roll one more time, and we will try. Let's see if this is an uplifting one.
14.
14 is. Nope, it's not. What's the worst job you've ever had? So I don't. Danny, have you had this one when you came in before?
I think that got rolled
when you and Nick were in here, because we were talking
it?
about how he worked at Ponderosa and he hated it, and that's why Ponderosa doesn't exist anymore. I don't know if you answered that or not. What is
that
your
episode
answer
was
to that?
sponsored by Ponderosa, right?
The whole episode was sponsored by Ponderosa.
So I'm really
Link in the comments.
hoping to get a cut of that, maybe.
Right, yeah.
Kind
all
of
that Ponderosa money.
You never reached out.
I did. Actually, I looked it up after we recorded that episode. There's like 1 or 2 Ponderosas left in the country. None of them are near us.
An endangered species.
It is.
Sort of. That's
sure.
beautiful.
But there's not enough of them that they're going to listen to this podcast and be mad that we hate them. So it's fine. Yeah. What did you have a job, Danny, that you may or may not have mentioned? Maybe if you mention one, I'll remember.
I hope I'm right. I'm trying to think. I'm like, did I say something for that answer?
Have all your jobs been great?
No.
All right. Well,
but it sounded so bad. I was like, no. In 2020, I worked for the U.S. Census Bureau.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember this.
I was an enumerator, and so I would go. I don't want to dox us, but we live in the United States of America.
You son of a...
During 2020, there was a few things going on at the time.
Sure.
That I was going house to house asking people how many people lived there. And so they were paying really well, which is why I did it.
The Census Bureau was paying really well?
Yeah. I mean, I was getting paid like $21 an hour.
That's pretty good.
You know?
Yeah.
That was the only reason to do that job, because it turns out when you're going out to rural farmhouses, asking them to fill out the census, which, by the way, if you're going to someone's house asking them to fill out the census, they already haven't filled out the census.
Right.
Like, that's either they're old and forgot,
to mail them in,
or that's a decision that they made already.
Yeah.
So you're not coming like, hey, have you heard about this lovely thing called the census? You're kind of going to like passive aggressively be like, how about you fill it out with me, a stranger?
Yeah. Do you sit there while they fill it out if they agree to it?
No. So when you're in person, it's like a questionnaire.
Oh, you just ask them.
So you ask them the questions and you like plug in the answers. Right. Most of the time a lot of the time you don't get answers, because what happens is that you are going to the houses of people who hate the government.
Sure.
During a pandemic, during an election season, and you can't really win, because if someone's like a Democrat, they kind of think they kind of see you as Trump, and if someone's like a Republican, they see you as Biden. Like there's this weird thing of like you stand for the establishment either way.
My porch either way, yeah.
It's and like a lot of them like to think that by not filling out the census, they're off grid.
Sure,
right,
they're sticking it to you somehow.
The sovereign citizens.
Yeah, they're like, no, I'm not going to let you know who lives here or anything like that. That's not your business. I'm off grid. And I have news. If I'm at your door, you're not off grid.
I know where you live.
The government knows you're here.
Sure.
That's why they sent me.
Yeah.
But the reason it was kind of the worst maybe that I've ever had is because I had guns pulled on me several times.
Several times?
Yes.
At different locations?
I got threatened a good bit. And there was a protocol there
There's a protocol for if you get a gun pulled on you?
For when you feel like your life is threatened at a place.
Okay.
Where you're supposed to like leave.
I'm learning a lot about census.
You're supposed to like report the house, and they have a special team of census workers.
Like a SWAT team of census workers?
No, the census workers apparently are normal, I think, but they are escorted by like police. And so like they will then send the police escorted census workers to your house.
They do not give up. Like even if there's a life-threatening situation, they're like, we got to get that information. Send the cops.
We must know how many pets you have here.
Yeah. I have to be so clear. Their strategy is throw people at the wall until people acquiesce and answer the questions.
That's
like
crazy.
I have gotten sent. There were times where I would get sent to a house for the 7th time. And I'll tell you what, if someone was a kind average citizen the first time you get sent to their house, by the 7th time, they want to kill you.
Yeah.
And you kind of want to kill yourself.
Makes sense. Yeah.
It's I've watched people become monsters.
Sure. Right before your eyes.
Because I've been
You
because
did
I'm
it.
like, hey,
You turned
hey,
them into
ma'am,
monsters.
Wow.
I know this is the 8th time I'm here, and
But-
you said no every time.
You really got to fill out this brief survey.
Do they have a protocol for if you've gotten turned down 6 times on the 7th time, try this instead? Or do you just keep doing the same shtick over and over?
To my recollection, literally no.
Just keep trying.
Sometimes they'd send someone else. Like sometimes
okay.
they'd be like, okay, we'll give it to another
Maybe they
person.
like someone else.
But that was also kind of worse because sometimes you go to a house and then find out you were the 8th person to be
Right.
sent there.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
wow, they wouldn't even prep you. Like it's not like here's the case file. You're number 8.
No, when you get the case, it'll be like, it's like one at a time. And so, I'm like, okay, I've been here. What's the next house? And then you go to a house and you'd be like, how many notes are on this? And it's like 12 notes. And you're like, I hope that they're still patient, like, I remember one of my first days on the job, I went to a house that had a big hedge wall around it, except not in front of the driveway. So you could still like walk up the driveway. And on a sign hung up in their yard, it was like one of those big traffic signs, like reflectors, and it said in big black print, census workers will be shot. Because these people know when it's census season.
Yeah. Did you still go up?
Well, I called my boss. I called my boss and I said,
"There's a sign out here."
And I'm like 19. I'm like 20 years old. At the time. And
we've got your age now because you told us what year this was. You're trickling the personal information.
Bleep that out. People can't know. I'm like, hey, there's a sign here that says census workers will be shot. Pretty specific,
Right.
Should I maybe leave? And she goes, well, legally they can't do that.
All right.
Like you're allowed to be there. You're not soliciting. And I'm like, right, for sure.
That's irrelevant.
For sure not my question.
Right.
Don't worry.
Legally they can't
can't do a lot of things.
I didn't call to be like, hey, is there a rule I don't know about where if they don't want you here, they can shoot you?
So my question is, when she says that's illegal, they can't do that, was she saying that it's illegal to put up a sign that says census workers will shoot us? Or was she saying they won't shoot you, it's against the law?
I think it was the latter.
They can't shoot you, yeah. So end of the story, did you go up there?
I'm not proud of this, but I did.
Wow, that's brave. I feel like you should be proud of that.
And then he got shot.
So show us
and
the
I was
scar.
killed. And I've been haunting this podcast ever since. I need $5 million so that Satan will let me out of hell. Please subscribe to Runs.
Yeah, that's why our video watchers see an empty chair next to me.
Yeah. Did you get the information?
I didn't. They weren't home. Thank God.
Oh man!
Thank God they were not.
I give you kudos for going up there. You must have really needed that job, man.
Well, I mean, hey, like $21 an hour.
That's not a bad. Yeah, it's not a bad haul.
Felt pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. Tess, it does not have to be as monumental as census taker. Which who knew that was so in depth.
You should talk about that more.
Did you have a job?
I'll start a pod.
You didn't enjoy. I'd listen to it.
I've been pretty lucky with the odd jobs and the internships and stuff that I've had.
Yeah.
So much so that when I was pondering this question, you were talking, I fully forgot about this experience and then remembered it at the last minute, and thank God I did, because it is categorically the worst job that I had.
Okay.
It was summer when I was in high school. I worked at my local pool for most of high school and college summers. That was a great job. Loved that job. I was lifeguard, and then I was a swim teacher, and then I was assistant manager of the pool. It was great. One summer, I really decided that I wanted a second job for some reason. And so I think it was this first summer I had a car. So I was like, I don't just have to go to this pool that I can walk to. Like, I can get a job anywhere. And so I decided to apply for a hostess gig at a restaurant in town.
Yeah.
And
was it Ponderosa?
No. It was a seafood restaurant.
Okay.
And a fun fact about me is I don't eat seafood. The fishy smell really gets to me, makes my stomach turn a little bit.
Specific taste in the aroma, for sure.
So I don't know why I was like, and I'll apply to be a hostess at this seafood restaurant.
Yeah, that was a bad choice on your part if you knew that ahead of time.
It was a bad choice. The people were mean, specifically to the hostess.
Sure.
And the best part was when I got my schedule for August, they gave me shifts that were like 11:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. is your Wednesday shift. And I was like, hey guys, that's great. I am a high school student. My classes will start August, whatever, 13th, whatever. I have to be back in trigonometry. Like,
Sure.
I don't know. Like and they were like, well, any shift you can't make, you have to get covered. And I went, great. So all of my shifts
Right.
are during my public school, high school
Right.
hours
Yeah.
as a 16-year-old.
So weird.
Yeah. So I lasted about 3 days at that job.
Yeah. That's how long Nick worked at Ponderosa.
And
Wow.
I have not been in the restaurant business since.
Yeah, it's fair. It's probably not a fun job for most people, I would imagine.
There's a lot of jobs that are that are willing to hire like high school and college age kids, but are
then
not
won't give them
willing
those
to
hours.
deal with it. You
Right.
know, like I feel like I've heard a lot of stories like that of places being like, well, yeah, but we need you. And it's like, I'm going to school. Like,
Yeah.
what are
Yeah.
you talking about?
I also had a job in high school. They were okay with the hours, though. I was bagging groceries in high school. This is how old I am. When I was bagging groceries in high school, I had to wear a shirt and tie to bag groceries. They don't do that. I know.
Now that's classy.
I know. At Kroger.
At Kroger?
Yeah. Or Ralph's if you live on the West Coast is the same thing.
Now they know where we are.
Not on the West Coast.
We're in Kroger
Well,
territory.
Kroger is
We're in
pretty
Kroger
specific.
town.